This is part 2 of Medical Examiner Mudskipper. Dr. Eisenstat stated on his report, after perforating the skin and soft tissues, the bullet fractures the left fourth rib anteriorly and enters the left pleural cavity. It then perforates the left lung, the proximal pulmonary artery, proximal aorta, right lung, and perforates the right fifth intercostal space, with resultant fracture of the inferior portion of the fifth rib laterally. Okay, I know this sounds difficult, so let me break it down for you. What we believe Dr. Eisenstat is stating is that the bullet enters the left lung, the heart, and then the right lung, and mentions no exit wound in most of his report to include the summary of the examination of injuries on page 2. So what it appears that he is saying is that the bullet entered the left lung, then hit the heart, hit the ribs, traveling downward, and then miraculously skipped back over to the right lung with no exit. I had to wonder, did this bullet decide to skip all over the place, or was there something that Dr. Eisenstat was attempting to cover up? We will present the report discrepancies in his own testimony that caused us to question the accuracy and truth of his reporting and testimony. According to his testimony on page 220, he stated, "This is the left breast, and right below it we have a perforation which is consistent with an entrance gunshot wound." If he doesn't indicate an exit on much of his report, why do we have a photo of the gunshot wound of the right back in Exhibit 18? And where did the gunshot come from? On page 224 of court testimony, Dr. Eisenstat stated, duly sworn and under oath. So now if you think of looking at a body on a table that we hold up, we have the head here. You can discern that this is the right side of Calvin Ellison's body. On page 235, Dr. Eisenstat stated, "One of the other ways, just to clarify, is that in any type of penetrating injury, and what I mean by that is a gunshot wound or a stab wound or something that goes into the body, we always do x-rays. And we did an x-ray in this case." On page 237 of court testimony, Dr. Eisenstat stated, "That's an x-ray of Calvin Ellison the day of autopsy." When asked by the prosecutor for the state marked post, does that fairly and accurately depict the x-ray that was taken by the GBI? Dr. Eisenstat responded, "Yes, it does." Exhibit 22 shows the ribs, but what's interesting is there is a middle pair of hemostats in this x-ray. The question then becomes, why? Is that normal? Is it hiding a bullet? Additionally, Dr. Eisenstat states that the direction of the bullet went left to right, upward, and front to back. Yet his own statement on page 2 of the report would say it went from the fourth rib to the fifth rib. To go from the fourth rib to the fifth rib is downward, not upward. In court testimony, Dr. Eisenstat stated, "After it entered the skin, the first thing that it hit, other than the tissues, the soft tissues on the outside, was the left fourth rib. And then after it went through the internal organs, when it exited, it hit the inferior portions or the lower part of the right fifth rib." So again, it appears as though he has discredited his own findings with his own findings and testimony. Why does he indicate there are no exit wounds on the main parts of his document? Why was there no blood collected from the exit wound as there was on the entrance wound? Why does he not mention any blood on the back of the shirt as he does on the front of the shirt? This caused me to question, could the bullet actually have been in the body, and was Dr. Eisenstat attempting to state that there was an exit wound in order to make the narrative against Roger Lee Baker Jr. stick? Stay tuned for part 3 of Medical Examiner Mudskipper.